Good morning. Today we will be discussing about food crisis. I'm very sure every one of you would have heard about it from your friends, read it in the newspapers, editorials, heard it in the news, but I'm very sure that none of us is really aware of the criticality of this issue and how severely it's gonna affect us all if not properly checked. Currently, the African countries are the one which are facing its wrath. And as you can see, the food crisis has already been described as the biggest crisis of the 21st century. And around 950 million people. That's huge. 950 million people are already affected because of food crisis. So friends, this is a really important problem we need to look into and we really need to find a solution. So the purpose or the aim behind today's video is to find the root cause of this problem and if possible try to find a solution, and we will be discussing on a one-to-one basis that how me personally can make a difference at the global level. So let's see. So according to the experts of United Nations University, South Africa, it will be affected by 25% of its population by 2025. It will be affected by soil degradation. So as you can see, it's even getting worse because of the global warming, the soil is getting eroded and the effects are only getting severe. So the UN has also warned that for every 3-degree rises in temperature, 182 million deaths in Africa this century, and 750 million people will be left hungry. This is huge, and we really need to do something about it. We really need to bring this change. So, as the saying goes, this is a painful condition of the present world. For a rich, the right time to eat is whenever he is angry, and for a poor, when he has something to eat, only then can he eat. How much painful it is, but yes, this is the truth about the present world. This is how it goes. So, if you see the main reason for this food security or this food hunger which has become prevalent in the African countries and is also slowly and steadily picking up its roots in India also, it's because of temperature is rising. So you can say that the global warming is the major reason, because for every 1 degree rise in temperature, it's almost like 10% decrease in the grain yields. So the major threat to food yield is rising temperature. So we will see what are the major reasons for this temperature rising and how we can really prevent us, or we can really slow the rate of this food crisis, so that our future generation have food to eat and we really give them a better world. So let's talk about diet. So how your diet can change the world. It may sound a bit strange that how a diet can change the world, but yes, diet can change the world. So as you can see, the statistics are there in the screen. The world population has doubled since 1960 and the meat production has quadrupled. That's almost 4 times. So in certain areas, there are like 4.5 times as many tons of pig produced as the statistics are there. Chicken is produced almost 13 times. So these numbers are growing and they are growing rapidly. I mean, you can see it on the screen, and the United Nations says that by 2050 the meat production will get double again, and this trend will continue and it will go on. It will be like 2 to 4 billion more humans mouth feed by 2050. So you will be asking me like, what does this production of livestock has an effect on global warming and then food security? Where is the link? So we will be seeing that in the coming slides. So as you can see, according to the report by National Food and Agriculture Organization, if you eat meat, it produces more greenhouse gases like carbon dioxide, methane, and nitrogen dioxide. So if you see, producing 1 calorie of protein from meat requires 8.5 times as much fossil energy. That's too much. If you are consuming a gram of meat, it will take almost 9 times of fuel energy. So it's like feeding massive amount of grains and water to farmed animals and then killing them. I mean, that's a whole lot of process, and it consumes a lot of amount of energy. It's almost like 9 times the amount of energy. And forget about the deforestation and other problems that comes because of this feeding these animals. And you will say that like what to do with these animals, but I will say like billions of animals are murdered and they are raised just for feeding the stomachs of people. So yes, there is a link. If you see it, there is a link. So yes, it's true. World's forgotten victims, animals. Just think of it. Just for once, think of it. If you see people eat their meat and they kill them, have they done anything wrong to the people? Have they done any injustice to the people? That such a cruelty people force onto them. They brutally murder them, and I can't even describe. I mean, I'm not even able to watch the videos where the slaughterhouses are shown. People so brutally murder them, and such an innocent animals. They are not carnivorous animals. They are herbivorous. It's not a question of survival instinct. They are enough of grains to, let's say, feed ourselves. But then why kill these innocent animals? You won't believe 45% of the grains in this world are fed to these animals so that they can fill the stomach of other shellfish people who want meat on their plates. Now I'm not saying about like we are eating the meat of the killed animals. They are purposely raised for this single purpose, to feed the plates of those rich people who want to satisfy their bellies. 45% of grains. Just imagine, this is where the food crisis is coming from. If those grains are fed to the poor people, and this raising of chickens and all these livestock are checked, this huge amount of animals, they produce a huge amount of methane. This butchering of animals, this produce a huge amount of methane, and methane is almost 10 times as severe as compared to the carbon dioxide in greenhouse gases. So it will be as much as 10 times as effective in producing global warming as compared to carbon dioxide. So forget about the emissions from cars and vehicles. You won't believe this meat eating, this killing of animals is the #1 reason of global warming. Because the production of carbon dioxide, nitrous oxide, these are very major greenhouse gases. And the emissions from this burning petrols and in the vehicle emissions, they are not so much as compared to this whole meat industry. The reason you don't see it, because you are not affected because of it. It's coming. If you don't take an action now, it will surely affect you. So, let me ask you a simple question. Have you ever seen a kid, a 2-year-old kid, being brutal to an animal? Or ever wondered, like a 3 or 4-year-old boy or girl asking his parents that I want this kitten or this dog or this calf on my plate for today's dinner? Have you ever wondered? Because that's our natural instinct. We are born herbivorous. We don't have any instinct of a carnivorous animal. That's how we are born. If we were really carnivorous animals, from the natural, it should be our natural tendency to kill an animal right from the birth. But as soon as we grow, we start growing. We are hardwired that this is your food plate, this is your food. You should eat animals. Otherwise, you will never see a child. In fact, they will go to any limits to protect their pets. Because that's how humans are. We are not carnivorous. let's take an example. Let's leave a 2-year-old baby into a cage where only where only a calf is there, or let's say a rabbit is there, little rabbit is there, and one apple is there, and ask him to choose between them two what he will eat. Do you really think he's gonna eat that rabbit? No, he will eat that apple, because that's how we really are. We are born herbivorous, as simple as that. Because of our traditions, because of our hard wiring as we grow, we turn into carnivorous. We start eating meat, but that's not how we were born. So we will look into other aspects also, busting myths about meat eating. So we will cover some myths which people say, people talk about, and we will try to bust them or uncover them and try to reveal the truth. So the first one is man was born carnivorous. As we have already discussed about the instinct of our human beings, the other thing which people say is we have a canine teeth. So if you can see in the picture also, it is very clear. Tiger canine is this big because it needs to pound the flesh. And if you see the human canine, it's not even visible. And that small canine which we have, it's there with almost every herbivorous animal, because we need to eat apples and we need a canine teeth for that. So you can see the difference between the tiger teeth and human teeth. And the other thing is the abdominals, the glands which we have in our stomach. It's almost 7 to 13 times size of our this upper glands. So as compared to the omnivorous animals, it's only 3 to 7 times. So we even have our abdominals of the length as compared to the herbivorous animals. Even our saliva, it has carbohydrate enzymes, which is to digest a diet which is rich in carbohydrates. That's another viewpoint. Other than that, if you see the people who consumes a lot of meat, which will definitely have cardinal related issues. That's because our body could not digest the huge amount of saturated fat and animal protein. And this is the reason that if you see the more a human being eats meat, he is very prone to these heart-borne diseases or cardiovascular attacks. That's because that saturated fat it start coagulating into our arteries. This is not the case with tiger. He doesn't have any problem digesting meat. But because we were born herbivorous, we really have problem digesting this saturated fats, trans fat, cholesterol, which we get from animal source. Besides that, when we consume meat, our body becomes acidic. And then our body has to flush all these enzymes out of our body, and it's again a huge problem for our body. Other than that, another thing which we really hear is eating meat is healthy. Well, we will look into this. First thing is animal products are linked to heart diseases. Believe me, because when we consume meat, our body can digest it properly, and the saturated fat and the trans fats start coagulating into our arteries. It's like blocking the blood circulation, and when this gets coagulated into our arteries, heart gets a lot of problems circulating blood into all the arteries and to all the parts. And that's why you can see the statistics also. People following plant diets have 2.5 times fewer cardiac events. It's there. The data is there. And the second thing, eating meat is linked to obesity. Obviously, if you will consume such a huge amount of calories, the animal product which you eat, it will definitely have huge amount of calories, and our body can't burn those many calories in that given amount of time. If you see all the carnivorous animals, when they hunt, they already burn huge amount of calories over there. But let's say we human beings in the modern civilization, we don't do that much work to burn those many calories. And what happens when you don't burn calories? You get obese. You start storing that fat into your body. And that's bad fat. That's not a good fat. And the last thing, eating meats can result to cancer. If you can see, WHO says that, I mean, almost like it says that the one third, I mean, 1 in every 3 person who is eating meat is susceptible to cancer. One or another form of cancer is very susceptible. That's because when you eat meat, your body becomes acidic, and then to flush out all those acids, your body started producing using phosphate, and it's a whole lot of process. And all these meats, they are carcinogen. I mean, your body goes through a whole hell lot of process to digest meat, and yes, it leads to cancer also. Now, the third thing which I always hear, that veg food lacks in protein. It's a biggest myth, biggest misconception, and it's, I see the major reason why our current youth is starting to follow this non-veg diet or the meat diet is because they say that this vegetarian diet is lacking in protein. So let's say I just did one simple exercise. What I did, I formulated a simple diet of a normal Indian human being. I mean, the general people in India which we eat. So it's like in the lunch we are eating chapati, dal, rice. In the dinner, chapati, chana dal, all these things. And I calculated the amount of protein that we are getting out of it. So it's 86 grams. You can see over here, it's 86 grams of protein. And if you see Daniel Pendick, he was an executive editor of Harvard Men's Health Watch. He says that we human beings require only 0.8 gram of protein per kilogram of our body weight. And even if you see other organization data also, let it be WHO or any other organization, it won't surpass this 0.8 or 0.9. So let's say if a person is weighing 70 kilogram, so the recommended protein intake is almost like 60 to 65 gram. And if you can see our vegetarian diet, it's almost 86 gram of protein. It's providing you 86 gram of pure and vegetarian based protein. And if you see the fiber in it, it's 44 gram. I want to ask you that will you get this amount of fiber in your animal based protein, animal based diet, 44 gram of fibers? And the reason this fiber is very important to our body is because it helps in the digestion process. This calories, it burns them slowly. And because of this reason, you don't get obese. So, I mean, there are so many benefits to turning into a vegetarian diet. And people again say that they are not doing anything wrong going omnivorous. I mean, it's natural. So I'm asking you, what is natural? If a normal omnivorous animal, when he kills his prey, he don't cook it. He don't make a distinction that I will eat this part, I won't eat brain. So let's say you go outside, catch any squirrel or catch any animal, kill it and eat it raw. Then I will believe that yes, you are an omnivorous animal. But it's not possible. It's not possible because we are herbivorous. We are not meant to eat animals. And by going herbivorous, first of all, we are doing a lot of benefit to us, to our body. And secondly, we are doing a lot of benefit to this whole world. I mean, we are preventing every single problem. Let it be global warming, greenhouse gas effect, deforestation, every single problem we will be able to face it because of our single change in our diet. A normal meat-eating person consumes almost 40 animals in a year. 40 animals' life will be saved just because of a single change in our diet. And just think how much good you will be doing to those animals who have never done anything wrong to you. So, I won't take much long. So, go vegan, Start following a vegetarian diet. By doing this, you will be doing a lot of good to you, to your society, to Mother Earth. And just think of it. You will be giving your future generation a better place to live. Isn't it worth it? Thank you very much.